Good morning, traders, and welcome to another video. It's Tuesday, July 6th, and it's 9:38 in the morning. We are looking today at all the electric vehicle companies. Quick disclaimer that this is just how I see the markets. This is not a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any securities. Again, we are starting on a weekly chart. NIO is another Chinese electric vehicle company that's actually making headlines all over the place, and we've been looking at that in the past. And again, we have the same situation as I showed you on Air Canada. What happened basically, market went all the way to this area, pulled back, and made this huge upside right there, and then it went sideways. This was a sideways, definitely rejection of this area here, 54.20. Really hard for the market to break out from that area, and then the market dropped. We went back to this 34 area. We made first low, and then we had a rejection, and then we had a rejection, and then we had this candle that actually broke down underneath, basically a fake out. Again, we don't react onto that. We wait for the market to break out, pull back, reject the area, and then give us a signal, probably opposite signal, to sell, right? And then the market takes it down, all right? In this case, we have this candle that was broken out of this area to the downside. We have, this is the top, bottom, this is the top. Then what happens, as I showed you on Air Canada, we have an inside candle right here. This is the inside bar. What is it telling you again? It's an indecision. Market is not sure. Should they take the market even lower or higher? And then the following week, right away, you have the breakout on the opposite side of this candle. As soon as this candle was broken out right here, you're looking for the signal or entry on top of this box. And look what happened here. From 40, market took all the way to $54. Why we stopped at this area? Well, I think it's very logical and very self-explanatory. I don't have to keep on repeating this kind of stuff, but you can see rejection here, a huge rejection here, market not being able to break through the downside from this area. And now once again we are stopping at this area. Very interesting. Why? Well, do I have to say it? You know, basically that's a huge resistance there. If we do get the breakout here, we're gonna wait for the pullback signal from here, and then take it from 55 area up to 67, which is this high here. This is a resistance. So if you're looking to get into this market, this is where I'm looking at right now. And that's how the NIO looks like. Very interesting, a very good stock to look at. What's going on with Tesla? Well, let's take a look at Tesla as well. I'm going to look the weekly chart on Tesla. Again, we don't have a lot of information on the market, but you know, it's slowly developing here, so we kind of can judge things, you know, by what's going on in the market. And this is actually a very, very interesting area. This 501 was a very interesting area here. Market came to this area and then rejected it once again here. Let's take a look. So this was a huge rejection here as well as this, and then the market broke out, pulled back, right? It was retesting this candle here that took off, right? And we had this nice pin bar here that rejected that candle, right? And then we have this kind of an area to kind of have a gauge of what's going on, and you know, if we can kind of take this into consideration for trading later. Then the market came to this area here. We had an inside bar here, so indecision. Market decided to break out, and then we pushed all the way to 886 area, and we found a strong resistance at this area. Market was not able to break it. It also went sideways. It was an inside bars, a lot of them there, and then we had this rejection of this $780 area. Market dropped, and it stopped where this pin bar actually rejected the area. So we had one rejection. You can see the huge wick here, but the market, as far as the money, stopped at the 596 area. Then we had another rejection of this area here, 596, and then we had an inside bar, and then the bears were pretty strong, rejected it one more time, and then the bulls came in, rejected once again, or bounced off of this market, and the market took off a little bit, you know, all the way to 780 area that I marked here. We can see it wide stop there because this was a huge support, now turning into resistance. So this is our target here if we were looking to trade over there. And then the market dipped again. We had an inside bar that this bottom got broken, and the market just took off to the downside. Again, we had a rejection in 596. And then what happened? We had this little kind of a pin bar developed right here. Not at a good area. I would never take that kind of a trade because that bar developed in nowhere area, basically rejecting nothing. I would like to see it here, but where it developed, it was not a good area to buy in. And then what happened? We had this kind of a little triangle here developing. I marked it right there on a chart, and this was going for weeks. So that was 1, 2, 3. On the fourth week, we had a breakout of this market here on top of this triangle, as well as a pin bar that developed on top of this support. This is a support when you have this kind of triangle. The support, this is a pin bar here, and the market took off. And what happened here? Well, we had a lot of rejections at this area as well as here. Okay, so 695 is proving now that Tesla is not able to break out of their area. We had one rejection here, and the market is now dipping again towards this 596 area. Is it going to find support at this area? I am not 100% sure. It does shows a quite strong area from the past, but what all is left to see if we develop another signal from that area maybe and take off from there. Again, I would still love to see the market to come down to this 501 area. This is definitely a strong resistance now turning support, and it would be a way better area to buy in for the Tesla. But at the moment we are looking at the no man's land. We need a breakout out of 695 area or dip to 596 area. So those two things on Tesla. At the moment, going sideways, no buy, no sell into this market. Moving to new company, it's called Solo. It's been around for a couple of years now. They're developing those single-seater electric vehicles in the US, and they seem to be like making also quite a huge headlines all over the place. So let's mark this market here. I'm going to start with this bounce right here. I know this one is higher, but this one and this one, so two rejections right there. And right away we see on this side here, let's take a look. On this side we have one rejection, 2, 3, and then the market broke down. We had another rejection, and the market is dipping right there slowly. Okay, so what we are developing right now, we had this. Let's take a look at here if I mark this one. So all right, so yeah, we could say a rejection. I need to see one more attempt here, right here at this area to see if this is going to be actually proven area for rejection. But anyways, let's take a look at here. We had a bounce right here, and then we had a rejection, and we had a rejection here, rejection, and this candle developed here. What's interesting about this candle, again, as many times I'm showing you before, we have developed the candle here, let's say fairly good area for support, and then we had an inside bar, and then the next week we have this breakout to the upside. And what happens right after that? Well, the market takes off, right? How far? Well, we have rejection here and rejection here and rejection here, and the market pretty much stops right at that area here. Let me just clear this and maybe enlarge it so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so now we can see it. All right, I'm going to put a line right there. All right, and now we can see what happened basically here. So we had a rejection, then a breakout, rejection here, market went down, and then we had this candle here that developed. Everybody can see it right here. That's the candle, the inside candle of that one. Breakout clearly out of that candle here, and the market takes off. Okay, now you can see rejection from this bottoms on this candle here. Yes, we did close on the other side. We did get the signal right here to continue on as a continuation signal from that area. So that was a breakout out of this area here. Okay, probably more clear on a daily chart. Okay, but I'm looking at the weekly. All right, so we had this beautiful, beautiful weekly candle that was telling us that something might happen from this area and market might take off again from there. But what happens the next week? First of all, we had no breakout from the top. Okay, we developed another pin bar in this area here, and also an inside bar, and then the market breaks out on both sides. Okay, but closes below. All right, it closes below this pin bar here. We have a close on that side, and the market is slowly dipping basically. And this is also an engulfing bar. This is an engulfing bar, engulfing both of these candles here. So again, until you get the clear signal from where to buy and where to sell, you have to wait for the candle to close, and that's exactly what happened with this candle. We had this rejection of these two pin bars. First of all, this one was a great candle here to jump in, but the next session did not produce an entry. Okay, you have to understand there was no entry, so it did not break the top of this candle. Okay, it just actually made a lower high and higher low, basically inside bar. Okay, then we had a rejection of that candle. Okay, so this candle here got rejected, this one got rejected, and if you look at how this candle looks, basically it's engulfing both of these bars from the previous sessions, right, and closes below this candle as well. It's telling us that the market is not ready to continue on. So next area for us to look at to buy in is $3.26. And if you develop some kind of a signal right there, this could be an area for us to look and buy into this market. Very interesting market to look at. Electric vehicles are gaining momentum everywhere in the world, and we should follow this kind of a trend as well. So that's what's happening with Solo. Nikola, again, that's a company that's it's making and developing the huge semi-trucks, electrical semi-trucks. And as you can see from before, we have this kind of a development here on the weekly chart. I'm going to just take my tool here. Okay, so we had a rejection right there. We had a rejection here, not being able to pass that area, and then we had support, rejection, 2871 proving definitely a good area for the target. Okay, we had a rejection here, we had rejection there, here, fake out. This is a fake out, and then the market now is going basically sideways again. Here we are inside this bar here, so this is what's going on right there. We are inside this box here. We have no direction where this market is heading right now. It's at the good area, the 1650. How it's going to develop, it depends if it's going to break out of this box to the upside, or is going to break out of this box to the downside. What created this box is just basically this candle right here, and we are just going sideways, so no entry for this market, Nikola, at the moment. Looking at the Volkswagen of America, and interesting developments here as well. We have this beautiful uptrend from the Volkswagen here, and then we had this kind of an interim support right here on the daily chart. Basically, there's a lot of happening right here on the daily chart, but we are looking at the weekly at the moment. I would like to go with a longer term trend on this one. So we do definitely have a trend. We had a first rejection of this area that developed also two beautiful inside bars as well as the pin bars, and the market took off from 32 to 37. Okay, and why we found resistance? Well, you can see a rejection right there a couple of times on a weekly basis, and 37 is proving to be a good resistance, and the market fell. What I'm expecting for the market to do is basically develop some kind of a signal here again, if it's strong enough, at $32, okay, and take us all the way to $37. If you are interested in this kind of a thing. Volkswagen is slowly moving into this electric vehicle area, and this is very interesting to see how the market develops at this area. We are very close. This candle is coming very close. It's a weekly candle. We have to wait to see if some kind of a rejection is going to happen at that area. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking to buy into Volkswagen. And you can see these beautiful two pin bars that developed right there. So the bar came here, and then we had pin bar and another pin bar that they broke the top of this previous one, and then the market just took off, and you had an opportunity to buy into this. Okay, so that's what it is, and why it rejected what it rejected here with this is a huge engulfing bar, engulfed the previous bar here, and of course telling you to ease off on your investment, or just sell the market right here at 37, because you know that there's a lot of rejections at this area as well. So this is how I see Volkswagen here. Looking at the Ford company, also jumping into a huge market share of the electric vehicles, and this is how I see it on a weekly chart. Let's take a look here. Couple things I would like to point. First of all, we have a strong update. We have a strong uptrend on this on the market. We have one resistance here to look at $12.15. $14, definitely a huge resistance. Now it might turn support, and then the market took off with this beautiful move from here. Okay. If we would take a Fibonacci tool, so from here to here, the 50% would be around here in this area. So this could be an area for us to look at. At the moment, we have a rejection here at 1448. All right, market is at that area. It's trying to break, going lower from that area. You can see a little wick right at that area, rejecting this kind of a 1448 area, but I don't see it as a very strong area to buy in from there, but you don't know until the signal develops here, and then we might take the market to 15.85, maybe $16 right there. That would be what I'm looking at for, but I would prefer for the market to come down here to 14.44 and retest this high. This high here needs to be retested and get us a signal right here from here to buy in. Then we have a way better risk-reward ratio, as well as a better dip to jump into that market. So looking at the Ford upside, okay, we are heading towards the bullseye and waiting for the signal. So we need to make sure to have a strong support either there or here for us to jump in if we get the signal in those areas. And finally, last stock I'm going to look at today is the GM, and I just want to show you how I see this market here. So General Motors also claiming that they're going to turn their company fully to electric vehicle company by 2035. So definitely we are heading towards the right direction. Everybody's in this renewable energy and clean cars. So we had this up trend, and that stopped at 46.79. Definitely a good resistance. And then we had this nice breakout through. One rejection, two rejections, and then the market had a fake out here, had a fake out here, as well as 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections at that level 5 on a weekly shares, right? So this is definitely a strong area here, 57.13 for us to look at. We are right there sitting at that area right now. So what's going to happen? We have the trend, we have the support, and we are waiting for the signal to develop. It's way better support than the Ford is showing on a weekly chart. And signal for us, the target for us would be $64. So this would be your profit if we were to jump here at $57.13. So this is Sasha. I hope you learned something new. I showed a lot of examples today. We were looking only electric cars, as well as the Air Canada stock, and what I see at the moment in the markets. And this is for me for today, probably for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for a like button. Please do come back and watch the videos. Thank you, and this is Sasha. Peace out.